Hey, got any Ryback memes? Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Greatness of SmackDown, and what a show it has been. Thank you, our tribal chief. Look at that drip, look at that strength, look at that attitude. Makes us all question, are we really that straight? This storyline, amazing. The mid-card scene, awesome. Brock Lesnar's WWE return, a bit different than I thought it would be. I know we talk about that all the freaking time, but for me it's honestly really hard to understand how Raw and SmackDown is actually the same company. It's the WWE. This show and this show are produced by the same damn company, and I don't understand how. After watching SmackDown, I'm wondering where this story is going. This was a great match. This was different. This division is actually succeeding. After watching Monday Night Raw, I'm just left like this. Sad, washed up, and tired. The first thing I want to talk about in this episode of Greatness of SmackDown is the whole Roman Reigns, Jimmy, and Jey Uso stuff. So basically, the show opened with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso talking. Reigns says one thing he will not stand for is, Jey says, embarrassing the family. Reigns knows Jey understands that, but does Jimmy? And then Jimmy makes his entrance. I guess he was watching SmackDown on television and he heard Roman Reigns saying all that. And also Roman Reigns heard Jimmy Uso's music. He knew Jimmy Uso was about to appear. I guess the music is very loud because all he saw was this. He watched a logo of SmackDown. But that's the senses of a tribal chief. You know, he just knows. Jimmy says last week they were supposed to be the tag team champions, but Roman Reigns interfered, and he basically accused Roman Reigns of being jealous of Jimmy Uso. He doesn't want the Usos to be champions. He says Roman always has to make it about himself. Roman is jealous, Usos want to represent the family too. He says he sees all the mind games and Roman is just trying to take Jey away from him. So that was a nice promo by Jimmy Uso. Does it make a lot of sense? Not necessarily. I mean, the whole point does, but saying that Roman Reigns is jealous, that just doesn't sound very legit to me. You know, I wish he used a different word. And by the way, that was not even the highlight. This was the highlight. My man was like, you see that shit, Oos? You see that shit, Oos? Reigns tells Jey to better take care of this and Jey leaves. Great storytelling as always. Roman Reigns just always looks legit. And I'm seeing many people saying that SmackDown is just a Roman Reigns show. And while I partly agree with that, other stuff in my opinion is still pretty decent. Sure, they need to work on a lot of things, but as long as the show itself is entertaining, that's all it matters. The overall show in my opinion is still very, very decent. Backstage, Jimmy asks Jey, do you honestly believe we wouldn't be tag team champions right now if it wasn't for Roman Reigns? And Jey Uso says no. Basically, he agrees that if it wasn't for Roman Reigns, they would be the WWE Tag Team Champions right now. I don't know about that. I mean, they were kinda losing at that point, but fair play. Jimmy says if Roman wants to talk to him, he will find me in a locker room. Again, all the pressure is on Jey Uso. He has to make that decision, whether he wants to stand with his brother or his cousin. He also mentioned how his loyalty right now is with Roman Reigns because you were gone for like 9 months. And that's honestly what happens when you don't see your brother, sister, wife for 9 months. You just forget about them. That's how life works. Fuck them family. The mid-card division is looking okay. We saw Kevin Owens and Big E versus Sami Zayn and the Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews. What do you mean something happened 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. I have no idea what you're talking about. I remember wrestling in an Intercontinental Championship match, and I lost. Don't remember how. At all. So this match was pretty entertaining in my opinion, especially all the stuff Kevin Owens did. My man was on fire in this match. The finish was pretty cool. Owens dodges a Helluva kick and drops Sami with a stunner. And that's all she wrote. After the match, Apollo Crews says, the only reason I lost is because I was in a tag team with this idiot Sami Zayn. So next week, we're gonna have Big E and Kevin Owens versus Apollo Crews and Aziz. This is gonna be the first time we're going to see Aziz in the ring, unless you count all the... I don't even remember the name. Raw Battlegrounds? Raw Underground. And that's gonna be pretty interesting. The man is booked as an absolute monster right now, and hopefully it's gonna stay that way. The only issue I have with this division right now, which is not a big deal, I mean, I do like Apollo. I think he's entertaining. I think I've mentioned this a week ago as well. Something is lacking and I don't know what it is. It just doesn't feel fresh anymore. It's like the same thing over and over again. And while the Intercontinental Championship division is looking decent, I don't think that Apollo Crews is making that championship look legit. I mean, no one is gonna take the championship away from Roman Reigns, so the Intercontinental Championship needs to look as good as possible. And I don't think that Apollo Crews is necessarily right now doing that. And then the poor bastards attacked Sami Zayn for no reason whatsoever. Justice for Sami, goddammit. I don't understand why are you all so mad at Sami Zayn for no reason whatsoever. The man should still be considered the Intercontinental Champion at this point. We also saw Chad Gable setting up a match against Montez Ford as long as Otis and Angelo Dawkins are not at ringside. I wonder what's gonna happen right here. Roman just laughs at the fact that the Usos have a locker room right now. And he doesn't understand why Jimmy is making Jey look like a bad guy. He keeps laughing at the idea of them having a locker room and asks if it's not Roman's cousin's locker room, and tells Jey to go to his brother and tell him that he's coming. But will Roman Reigns come? We'll see soon. We saw Carmella vs Liv Morgan. Carmella is being introduced as the most beautiful woman in the WWE. We'll see if this gimmick lasts for more than 4 weeks. This time she actually lost against Liv Morgan, but she still wanted to be announced as still the most beautiful woman in the WWE, Carmella. And I know what you're all thinking. Carmella is trying to steal the Divas Championship away from you, but I'll never let that happen. As long as I'm breathing, that will never happen. Ding Dong Hello was one of a kind. Cringy as always, as always, but still somewhat entertaining. Seth Rollins was a special guest and they basically, kissed each other asses by complimenting each other, laughing at their opponents, laughing a lot. When I'm saying laughing, that was basically 80% of the whole segment. Fake laughing, and it wasn't good fake laughing. But by God, it was definitely not worse than Sasha Banks' laughing. But then we heard the doorbell. Who could it be? It seemed obvious. My prediction was Andre the Giant, but it was actually Cesaro, and he attacked Seth Rollins. Then we saw Bianca Belair, and she laughed. It's whatever, I think it was okay. The conversation between Seth Rollins and Bayley, the chemistry, I actually really liked it. It was really funny. And I like when the heels actually get along. It's weird. Rey Mysterio challenges Roman Reigns to a match. You don't disrespect my family, Roman. And you did. You attacked my son and I won't forgive you. You can do with your family whatever you want, but not mine. We're seeing family wars in the WWE. Now, I personally wanted to see Roman Reigns versus Jimmy Uso, but maybe it's a bit too early for that, so I don't mind this. Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio. I'm not quite sure whether it happened or not in the past. I'm pretty sure it did during the Shield days, but it's a match I definitely want to see right now. I think it has a lot of potential. Predictability, sure, very predictable. But it does have a lot of potential to steal the show, and the story is pretty okay. Then we saw this match, and I appreciate that it's not some kind of a rematch. I don't think we saw that before. It was okay. And of course, Chad Gable had a plan. Backstage, Otis attacks Dawkins. The match ended in disqualification when Otis attacked Montez Ford, and my man was on a rampage. We're seeing this different side of Otis, and it's pretty entertaining. He has no beard, he looks different, a whole different attitude. And while I actually liked it, the problem I have is that right now he's just a generic, big, bad guy. I'm not saying it's worse, but the previous Otis gimmick was unique and different, something we never seen before. It separated him from the whole WWE roster and made him different. He was a character, and that's what Vince McMahon likes. So I'm not quite sure where this is going. I'm not quite sure whether I like it or not. I mean, right now it's cool. but like I've said, it doesn't make him unique. We saw another Shinsuke Nakamura versus King Corbin match. Before the match, Shinsuke Nakamura attacks him. This was a very short match. Nakamura takes the W, takes the crown, and you know where this is going. So basically, backstage, King Corbin asks Adam Pearce to bring back the crown. He says, what about a match for the crown next week? And Corbin is not very happy about that. It's mine! Cool, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Well, honestly, I wanted to see the King of the Ring tournament, but this will do. Now when I think about it, it won't change a damn thing, so that's pretty disappointing. I thought it would be a bit better, but it's too early to judge. And I'm very confused about this. I'm not quite sure whether I like this pairing or not. I thought it's gonna be a one-time thing, but it's happening every week now. And while it's kinda cool, it's more just random. We finally saw the meeting. Jimmy says he doesn't care about the championship, he cares about the family. And he calls out Roman Reigns on using Jey Uso all year. And one day he's gonna be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but not as Roman Reigns, but as a bitch. I mean, that's cool and all, but it just felt like using the B word for the sake of a B word, you know? It really didn't make a lot of sense. They keep arguing and Jay's like, enough, I'm tired of you two, and I'm just leaving. But then Roman just twists the whole thing, and it felt like Jimmy is actually listening and trying to understand, and it seemed like he did understand what Roman Reigns was trying to say. Saying things like, we're not little kids anymore, we don't need to argue, why are you doing this? This is our livelihood, this is our family business. He's screaming at Jimmy saying that the only way we can be the best is to be together and continue to do what we're doing. Of course, he's trying to manipulate Jimmy Uso into thinking that he's the one who's manipulating, Jey Uso. And he actually succeeded at that because, he was like, how could you do this to your brother? How could you treat him like that? And Jimmy, he actually agreed. Roman Reigns twisted the whole thing because he's that damn good. And that's the way Jimmy will start to understand. Roman Reigns will brainwash him into thinking that Roman is actually right in this situation. Or we're gonna see a match and Roman is gonna kick his ass. Which is, I hope that's gonna happen. Then again, Roman does have a bit of a point, The whole point was that Jey Uso elevated himself. He became a main eventer, and you came back and you just want him to be the Uso again. By a little pubic hair, Roman Reigns does have a point. And of course, we saw Rey Mysterio calling out Roman Reigns. He said, I acknowledge you as a prick or whatever. And Roman Reigns said, I acknowledge you, but got attacked with a kendo stick. Where the hell did that kendo stick came from? My man pulled GTA right here. Of course, Roman Reigns beats Rey Mysterio. He also beats Dominik Mysterio. And also we saw this spot. And basically, I know he landed on a crash pad. I understand that. It's pretty obvious. I know that, but you didn't see it, so you never know. Let's pretend that he actually landed on the floor, which, makes it into a very, very good spot. Very effective, if you ask me. I might as well kill the guy. And of course, Roman Reigns stands tall, and I'm sure the match is gonna be entertaining. SmackDown is a good show. We all love SmackDown. We stand SmackDown. I guess he's gonna face Rey Mysterio at Hell in a Cell. I think then we're getting Money in the Bank, which would probably be a rematch, or Roman Reigns against Jimmy Uso, and then John Cena. And I can't wait to see that match, man. This is gonna be awesome. The end of the summer is gonna be really, really, really entertaining when it comes to professional wrestling. We're getting crowds back. We're getting SummerSlam in a stadium. I think 70,000 fans. It's basically going to be bigger than WrestleMania. And that's what we needed in pro wrestling right now, It's getting really, really boring. While SmackDown is good, it still doesn't bring me back this passion for pro wrestling. The whole no audience thing just makes it look like a taped show, overproduced. WWE is overproduced all the time, but right now it's just a bit too much. And I'm very tired of it. So let me know your thoughts on Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns. And thank you for watching the video. The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.